These two men are locked in a political struggle. One from the Kremlin, the other from a Russian prison cell. 1 year ago, opposition leader Aleksei Navalny was detained after landing at a Moscow airport. He chose to return from Germany after being treated for a poisoning linked to the Kremlin, knowing that he would be arrested. And in an Instagram post on the anniversary of his return, he insisted he had no regrets. He wrote, "This is the essence of Russian politics. A little Tsar who wants to assume the right to personal, unlimited power must try to intimidate honourable people who are not afraid." Navalny refers here to Russian President Vladimir Putin as a little Tsar. Putin never refers to Navalny by name in public, refusing to recognise him as a challenger worthy of attention. But days after his arrest, Navalny's supporters released this video, which forced Putin to react. It alleges that the Russian president uses a lavish secret palace, financed with state funds stolen by his allies.
Здесь неприступные заборы, свой порт, собственная охрана, церковь, свой пропускной пункт, бесполетная зона и даже собственный погранпункт. Это прямо отдельное государство внутри России. И в этом государстве есть единственный и несменяемый царь – Путин.
Ничего из того, что там указано в качестве моей собственности, ни мне, ни моим близким родственникам не принадлежит и никогда не принадлежало. Никогда.
The video and Navalny's arrest prompted the largest protests in Russia in years. An estimated 40,000 people joined rallies in Moscow, despite a brutal response by riot police. Demonstrations took place across the length and breadth of Russia. From his cell, Navalny commented on social media. He wrote, "Two feelings are raging within me, pride and hope. Pride that I am part of something large and beautiful among the honourable people who are not silent when they see injustice and lawlessness. And hope, obviously, for the salvation of Russia." Putin was again forced to respond when a US journalist asked him whether he was afraid of the opposition led by Aleksei Navalny. Again, Putin avoided naming Navalny.
Если вы посмотрите на уличные протесты, то вы поймете, что далеко не все в тюрьме. Люди работают, те, которые не нарушают законов соответствующих. Что касается фигурантов, о которых вы сказали, они вообще находятся в местах лишения свободы не за политическую деятельность, а за уголовные преступления.
Navalny was jailed for 2.5 years for breaking terms of parole from an old embezzlement case that is widely considered to have been politically motivated. In the following months, many of his supporters were arrested while others fled the country. A court declared his anti-corruption organisation extremist. But jail did not silence Navalny. He wrote, "When corruption is the basis of state power, those fighting against corruption are branded extremists. I won't even bother discussing the legal details of this mockery of justice. It's enough to say that all the materials in the case were declared state secrets." A week later, Putin was asked about the extremist designation at a news conference in Geneva. He responded with an unsubstantiated claim.
Та организация, о которой вы сказали, публично призывала к массовым беспорядкам, публично вовлекала, что противозаконно, в уличные мероприятия несовершеннолетних, это запрещено российским законом, и публично давала инструкции о том, как готовить, например, коктейли Молотова.
Subsequently released court documents made no mention of gasoline bombs. The struggle continued as Russians headed to the polls to vote in elections to the State Duma, the lower house of parliament, in September. Navalny had promoted an app called Smart Voting, enabling people to find the opposition candidate in their area with the best chance of defeating Putin's United Russia Party. The app was withdrawn by Apple and Google online stores after what Navalny supporters said was Kremlin pressure. For the first time, international election observers from the OSCE did not monitor the vote, citing limitations imposed by the Russian authorities. Official results showed a landslide victory for United Russia.
Сами выборы прошли открыто, в строгом соответствии с законом и при высокой явке. А Единую Россию поздравляю с убедительной победой.
Navalny responded, "Smart voting hit the thieves from United Russia so hard it was a pleasure. Basically, they achieved everything they wanted, but they will pay a high price." The two men also marked New Year, the most important holiday in Russia, in very different ways. Inmates in the prison where Navalny is being held were allowed to stay up late to see in the New Year. A few days earlier, Putin said he would be watching his own pre-recorded address on state TV.
Ну что, сидеть вместе с близкими, встречать Новый год, слушать президента. С наступающим, президент.
Putin did not comment on the first anniversary of Navalny's arrest. Navalny faces up to 15 additional years in prison if convicted on charges that include fraud and money laundering. In a statement to mark his first year behind bars, Amnesty International described the charges as bogus and called for an international campaign to secure his release. Navalny's supporters released this video compilation of investigations he's made over the years, presenting evidence of high-level Kremlin corruption. It's called simply, "Why did Putin jail Navalny?"